But I definitely want to do the semi-glutide thing. You know, Lord knows if I'll be able to eat anything on it. We'll see.
Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are going to be talking about Candy, or Hungry Fat Chick. We've talked about Candy quite a bit. We actually haven't talked about her in a while. Candy is someone that I think is very interesting and kind of tragic in a way. Candy is someone that does a lot of mukbang content here on YouTube. She is a fat chick, as she is just self-described. She's a pretty overweight individual. But I've always really liked the way that she is very real and upfront and very honest about what she's doing, why she's doing what she's doing, and the struggles that she has going through what she's doing. Something we talk a lot about here on the channel is mukbangs and their place in popular culture and their place on YouTube. And she is someone that is doing them and makes her living off of doing mukbangs, right? Having people watch her eat. And so we're going to go over a couple things that have happened recently. She's made some videos and talked about possibly wanting to get on GLP-1s or Ozempic, but we'll get into that a little bit later. The first thing that I want to go over is this community post that she posted about a month ago, so it's been up for a while. But again, I think that she is being very honest and upfront in this community post. So I'm going to go ahead and read. I apologize for all of the times that I struggle, but she goes ahead and says, "I'm playing my own game here. I'd like to apologize for taking any of you on a ride you weren't prepared for. But the channel is Hungry Fat Chick. I am a spectacle, and my purpose is to shock and awe. I am the dumpster fire and the train wreck you can't look away from. I am both loved and hated. Lots of folks try to help me improve my life by commenting. Lots of folks just want to enjoy my company and parasocial friendships. Lots of folks use me as a cautionary tale. Lots of folks use me as a whipping boy, a punching bag to get their aggression and frustration out on. Lots of folks just come for the comfort and the food. My vibe is cozy, even though my health issues, breathing and such cause anxiety in some. I just want all of you to know, for whatever reason you came here, that I do care about your opinion of me. I do get bothered when I feel people are misunderstand me or get me wrong. I do like people to like me. I don't try to create drama, and here comes the but. But gosh, I'd love to have some drama in my life, just a little. I feel like my content is just so boring, and I'd love to do something better and more exciting in addition to the regular content. I don't know. In the last several months, I've been skipping days more often, and that's not good. There's not even a good excuse for it other than maybe I procrastinate too much. I think that's part of my mental health issues. I get deep into my head, rationalizing and figuring out if I can get away with skipping, and I'll make what I need for the month. My job isn't hard. It's just another way I screw myself over. So what she's talking about there is that she, her job is to do mukbangs, right? And so a lot of times she will kind of skip over them. And I can relate to that to an extent as a content creator whose job is something like this. There's a lot of guilt that comes with maybe not doing the things that you feel that you should be doing, because, this job is quote unquote easy. And it is, compared to a lot of other jobs, it's very cushy. It's very easy. And so whenever at least for me, whenever I feel like I don't really feel like recording, or I don't feel like I have much to say, or I'm not really happy with how something came out, or whatever it is, it's really easy for me to get very down on myself. And so I can relate to that portion of what she's talking about there, because it's like one of those things where who am I gonna complain to, right? I'm not going to come on here in a video and say, oh my gosh, my life is so hard and it's so hard doing this job, because one thing, I'm just complaining to the people that are watching my content, and they're not, y'all aren't here to hear me complain, right? For the most part, I'm sure some people wouldn't mind, but there are other outlets for that, and so I try not to do that. So I can understand that, but also it is a pretty easy job compared to a lot of other things. So it's like understanding what you're going through and the position that you're in, I do think is really important. And I think some people really do forget how lucky and blessed they are to be in the position that I am in, that Candy finds herself in, regardless of if you enjoy the content or not, right? These are things that a lot of people wish that they could do for a living, right? And so I can understand the frustration of being upset at yourself for even feeling frustrated about this job, because it's something that a lot of people would love to do. Right. So I can understand those frustrations. Right. I don't know if any of y'all experience this, but sometimes I know I have to get something done and I'll get so anxious about it. I'll be indecisive and just worry and worry and worry, and I'm paralyzed with all of it. Then either it just doesn't get done or miraculously I'll make it happen at the last minute. Yeah, that's definitely something I struggle with. I don't know if that's an ADHD thing, but it's definitely something I've heard a lot of people talk about. I struggle with that completely, 100%. I can agree. I can empathize. I'm also a people pleaser and have been my whole life. It does bother me when I disappoint people, if something I do or say hurts someone else. I never want to cause harm to another person, although I can be very self-centered and self-involved. I try not to neglect people, but I also don't have a lot of people in my inner circle. I know I don't have the energy for a lot of people. I have a lot of folks that I consider friends, but there are less than a handful that I'm close to. Those few people are the ones who really know me. I wish I could share more of myself, but I'm so guarded. I've shared enough to give people plenty of ammunition to hurt me, so when new things occur or I'm just going through something, I don't feel comfortable sharing. It's really dumb. I'll be 52 this year, but I still care what other people think of me. I need to stop doing that. I mean, I think I don't know, like when people say, I don't care what other people think about me at all. I'm like, okay, well, that's good for you, but I kind of don't believe that, but whatever. I sometimes fantasize about coming into my villain era. I think I have been glorifying the bad guy and wishing I could be bad. At least then I'd feel like I was interesting enough to watch. I'm thankful folks do watch. I wonder if she's like kind of like thinking about like Amberlynn Reed, or you know, the people that have very big followings of people that are like that don't really like them very much, but they follow for the dumpster fire that is there. I don't think Candy really has that same appeal, right, as some of the other people. And enjoy what I do enough to come back and share a meal with me or whatever, for whatever reason. In response to some rudeness, I can be snarky or bitchy, petty, or even a little mean sometimes. Again, I let things bother me that shouldn't. People on the internet aren't real. I know they are, though. I've made several lovely friends from my followers and peers, so the rude people must be real as well. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think when people say it's not real, it's real to an extent, right? It's not someone right in front of you saying something, but yeah. I think I feel better about putting those rude people into a box and labeling it the ones and zeros. From here on, they'll just be NPCs in the game that I ignore. And then she links this article, which is just, I think, her kind of just sharing the different mental illnesses that she has. People know that I have some pretty serious mental illnesses. I have a host of symptoms, and some pretty scary things have been going on lately, and I haven't felt comfortable sharing. I'm concerned that I'm not experiencing reality correctly. Like my matrix is glitching. I'm not sleeping more than an hour at a time here and there, and not even sequentially. So I've been incredibly irritable and, yes, very bothered by nonsense. I'm sorry if anyone I've offended or worried. That definitely does not sound enjoyable at all. I appreciate everyone's comment about my health and well-being. My intention for the rest of the year is to seek a new primary care physician. This is important. And new psychiatrist and therapist. I'm worried that a psychiatrist will put me back on a whole lot of medications. I will refuse, but I'm not going to spend the rest of my life like a drug zombie. In my early content here, y'all can see I was way over medicated. I'd rather just experience my emotions, even the scary stuff. Anyway, it's just after 5 a.m. It's a work day for me, and I have something stressful that I need to get done as well. I should try to sleep again. I hope everyone is well and has a nice weekend. I'll see y'all Saturday. For the rude NPCs, you're just ones and zeros. You can only hurt me if I let you. Like I said, I think that Candy is pretty open and honest about how she's feeling, and that's something that I do appreciate about her. I think that she is, someone in a position where a lot of people, they do enjoy liking to watch this the spectacle, and I feel like a lot of people that are in that position don't really want to admit that, but she is completely fine with admitting that and just leaning into it, and I feel like that's really interesting. But the video that I do want to go over, this thankfully has been cut down by Rachel, who is my my business partner, producer, content, like she just helps me with a lot of stuff, and so she was able to cut this down, so thank you for that. But this is her kind of just going over, this is Candy going over the fact that she does want to, be seen by a doctor and those different things. And then towards the end, she brings up the GLP-1s or the Ozempic. And so I just wanted to go over this. Again, this is cut from a much longer video.
So I've had a hell of a week, but I had these high hopes of finding a doctor and all that stuff. I don't know, people are like, why bother? Indeed, why bother? It's not like it's gonna do me any damn good anyway.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that's true. I think maybe she's feeling that way because she's in a not the best place at the moment, but I think that having a doctor is can be a very, very helpful thing for Candy.
Because I'm fat and I'm gonna die fat. Just the way it goes. Anyway, I mean, I made some phone calls, and apparently with the insurance that I have, that I pay a premium for, mind you, and without a tax, like, write-off for it or whatever, you got like a tax credit. That's what they called it, tax credit. Without the tax credit, I'd be paying like $500 a month for this freaking insurance. And all the places that I wanted to go to or to try for, they're like, sorry, we don't take your insurance.
I definitely understand that. It can be very frustrating. I'm sure anyone that's had to deal with insurance can relate.
Sucks. So I don't know. The first part of the week I got burnt out on making phone calls, so I'll try again next week. It's just the way it goes. It's like I'll try a little bit and then I'll get overwhelmed and be like, stuff's just not going my way. So I give up. So Monday.
I mean, I can relate to that. I honestly do the same thing. It's something that is very frustrating about myself that I dislike quite a bit, but it just is what it is at this point.
I'm going to go ahead and get on the phone with my insurance company and just ask. I mean, they might not know, they might not whatever, but at least try and see if they have any physicians in their network that do house calls. They probably don't. Or they just don't know. They do have virtual visits available that there's actually no charge for, so that's for like certain things, like certain like bladder infections and things like that. I know they had like a list of stuff that they can cover, but I need an actual primary care physician. So goody me, I'm gonna have to leave my apartment and I want medical care. And y'all don't know, man. Was it Tuesday? You know, after like another barrage of phone calls, I just fell out. I mean, I just full on had a panic attack, like hyperventilating, you know. Just, it was ugly.
Yeah, and it can be really difficult. Like for me, I am very much so a routine-oriented person. And so when I have to do something that is as quote-unquote simple as a phone call, but if it's out of my daily routine, especially if that takes a while, it really throws me off. Like, I'm not saying that I always have a panic attack, but sometimes it can literally really derail my whole day. And honestly, it's embarrassing to admit because it's something so small, but it's just the truth, you know? It's like when something is out of my routine, especially if it's something that I'm not looking forward to, man, it can feel like basically might as well be trying to climb Mount Everest, you know?
And it was like, you know what? I'm done for now. This ain't happening. Because for some weird reason, the thought of stepping outside of my apartment terrifies me. So I have a friend coming by. He'll be here today, Saturday. And he's going to help me go through my regular clothes, like blouses, shirts, pants. You know, to help me find some. And I know it sounds weird. I need somebody to help me go through my clothes, but you know, I can literally do nothing for myself. It's just ridiculous. I just need help. That's all.
just like, it's just so hard to hear all of this, because I know that there's going to be comments in this video, and I don't even disagree with them, where they're just going to say, well, you just need to lose weight and that's how you will be able to move more. I think that that's that's obvious, and I don't think Candy would even disagree with that. But like, at the same time, I can understand that feeling of being feeling trapped, and especially with, like, I think it's the agoraphobia, where you're afraid to leave the house. It just makes everything feel impossible, man. And so, like, I just, like, while yes, the answer is probably you need to lose weight, not probably, you need to lose weight, right? And a Candy wouldn't even disagree with that. I understand that that's much easier said than done, and it does sadden me to see her in this position where she makes her money again. This is something she's fine with sharing. She makes her money by doing these videos, eating unhealthy food. If she tries to do anything else, right, healthy food, even not doing mukbangs, the views aren't there. So the AdSense isn't there. She's not going to be able to pay her rent, right? So it's like being stuck in this position where I know, oh, well, just stop doing it and save your life. And that's like, yeah, I understand, but also I can understand not wanting to be homeless. You know, I can understand not knowing where you're next, like how you're going to make your money, and knowing that there is this thing that for you is easy, right? Just eating a bunch of food that is always an option. It's just really tough, man.
Just help. But anyway, I'll be getting an outfit together so I can attempt to leave my apartment. So one way or another, I'm going to choose a PCP next week. It's just going to happen. Been making some time with my therapist, though. That's going okay. You know, I mean, it's therapy. It is what it is. You know, and the whole point is basically so I can do my job, the job, and then just be normal the rest of the week, you know? You know, let this be my splurge or whatever.
I mean, I know that that's her plan, but I don't think that will ever actually work. Like, trying to eat quote unquote normally for the week and then do this one mukbang so you can make a video a week and make AdSense. Like, I don't see that actually ever working long term, or just at all, because it's like, if you're struggling with these types of foods, allowing yourself and knowing that you're gonna have, like, it's just so easy to eat that and then be like, well, I already had that, so I'm not, like, it's just so easy to spiral from that, you know?
And the rest of the week, I want to be eating just regular food, you know? This is a sloppy one. I was craving that. For real.
It's like, you know, having those feelings, right? But craving that thing and having it, and then I think it's like a spicy McChicken, I don't really even know. And then trying to eat, like, you know, a friggin' broccoli, rice, and vegetables for the rest of the week. Like, I mean, that's going to be hard.
So, you know, there's that. Okay, that conversation out of the way now. That's the health news. One step at a time, y'all. I didn't get this fat overnight. I'm not going to get it together overnight. But I definitely want to do the semi-glutide thing. You know, Lord knows if I'll be able to eat anything on it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
But yeah, so like when it comes to that, so if semaglutide, GLP-1s, Ozempic, they're all kind of interchangeable. There's differences, but like they're all kind of interchangeable. And one thing that we know is that if you're on those medications and you're trying to eat foods like this, like, you're probably not going to feel very good, and it can really make you pretty sick. And so I don't know if I don't think that that's a good idea. And it's like, clearly Candy, there's a crossroads, right? Because she wants to lose weight. She understands that her health is at risk. She understands that losing weight will help her significantly. That is something that has to happen. But she also wants to make sure that she, has a place to live and she's able to pay her bills, and she has this relatively easy source of income that would be taken away if she decided to significantly, really try to lose weight and take that seriously. There's going to be probably less mukbangs, and they're probably going, if she actually loses weight, they're going to be less interesting, because there's just no way that you're going to be able to try and lose weight and then eat this food that we're seeing here at the amount that she does every week, right? In a perfect world, I think if you're able to only have that one meal every week, as far as a bad meal, and then the rest of the week you are eating quote unquote clean and healthy, and you maybe eventually start to try and move a little bit more and lose a little bit of weight. Yeah, maybe it's possible, but I think it's like wishful thinking is the best way that I can put it. I don't think that is really a solid plan. I think personally, as far as an Ozempic or a GLP-1, that is honestly not a bad idea. I think that it's something that could seriously help her, and I think that could be a great journey that she could go on. Do I think that would make her channel more popular? I don't know. I don't think so, if I'm being completely honest. Honestly, there might be a few people that would be like, oh, I'd love to watch her lose weight. And maybe that's true, but I think the majority of the people that are watching these videos are not watching because they want to see Candy lose weight. They're watching because they enjoy mukbangs, right? And so it's a really tough position that she is in, and I don't know, I feel for her, and it's very interesting to watch because she is so open and honest about how she feels about things. But that's just how I feel. I would love to know what y'all think down in the comments section down below. I appreciate y'all so much for watching the video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.